This is all right. Okay. So I think we're going to have a lot of stragglers. So I'm going to go a little bit slow in the beginning and then I will ramp up. But welcome to week 3. This is when everything does start to come together. So just to reiterate, week 1, intermittent fasting and whole food nutrition, focusing on unprocessed foods, making sure all of our meals have protein, fat, fiber, and some good carbs. Week 2, we introduced carb cycling and we also introduced tracking macros. In my opinion, tracking macros is the most challenging component of this program. It takes a while. Honestly, it takes many clients like five of the 6 weeks to really zero in and get good at it. My best advice is to practice, rinse and repeat. Okay, refine what isn't working and make it work for you. I saw in the Facebook group some of you are using MyFitnessPal, some of you are using Excel. I do not care. You can use whatever means that works best for you. If you're going to be tracking macros in our app, it's helpful and easy to just follow our meal plan. But as I say, use the meal plan as inspiration or follow it to a T. And Lillian said, I agree, still improving with the macro tracking. I will say this though, if you can nail it, it really is the key to success. The ratio combination of protein, fats, and carbs is what is going to fuel you to feeling your best. The protein is going to help build lean muscle. This is not an overnight program. Like some people will do low carb programs and they'll lose a lot of weight really quickly. Now, number 1, a lot of that is water weight. Okay. Number 2, if it comes off fast, it's going to come back just as fast. But you all know that. Number 3, building lean muscle takes time, but once it's there and you're able to maintain it, it elevates your metabolism long term. Okay. Weight gain as we age is not something that's inevitable or you need to accept, in my opinion. And the key to avoiding that is lean muscle and maintaining that muscle that you're building. And to achieve that is through eating enough protein and strength training. If you love to run, I saw an Instagram post the other day and it was like basically shitting on influencers, probably like myself, who are hating on running these days. And I don't hate running. I just came from a run. You can see me being sweaty. I just don't love running being used to lose weight or as punishment to just burn calories. If running is something that you enjoy and love, do it. Make it fit into your lifestyle, make it fit into your program, but make sure that you're also strength training and you're not overdoing it and you're just burning your body, you're tiring yourself out, you're not giving yourself enough rest. This does lead to a hormonal imbalance. But if you love to run, awesome. Let's make it work. Let's make it fit into your program. But I want you to focus on getting in that protein and doing the strength training. So today's strategies are why we do the workouts that we do on the specific macro days. So we do low carb on Monday and Tuesday, and we pair that with HIIT workouts. The reason behind this is, and I kind of talked about it last week, is that when we are reducing our carbohydrates, we add in the HIIT cardio to burn through our stored glycogen. When we eat carbohydrates, our body converts it into glycogen, and that is what we use for energy to carry out our day-to-day activities. It is our body's preferred source of energy. So I know I said this last week, but think about when you run a marathon, or if you see people run marathons, that's why they'll do those energy gels, because your body has used up all the stored glycogen and then it starts to go into your fat stores. But fat is not the preferred source of energy. It's not going to give you the best performance. And that is why runners will eat candy, because it is quick to digest and your body can convert it really quickly into energy. complex carbohydrates that have fiber take a little bit longer for your body to convert into energy, which is why we like eating them to feel satiated longer, and it doesn't cause a blood sugar spike. There's a time and a place for both, right? I'm not saying don't eat candy, but you get what I'm saying. So when we pair HIIT workouts with this type of exercise, the goal is to burn through all of our glycogen that is readily available so that we force our body to start burning fat for fuel. Okay, that is the goal on Monday and Tuesday. That's why we reduce our carbs. Now, we don't do this all long term because we believe that a low carb diet long term is detrimental to your hormone health as a woman. Also, it's not sustainable. Many of you have tried the keto diet. I'm sure it is not sustainable. Yes, it works in the short term, but hormonally and longevity, it just doesn't make sense for us as women. So this is why you may feel a little tired on low carb days. If this is you, you can always bump up your carbs a little bit. Most of you who are 35 and older, we have you at 75 net carbs. If you are nursing, you are at 100. If you're someone that has been prone to headaches on low carb days, you could bump up to 100 if you're not there. If you're under 35, we probably have you at 50 net carbs, total carbs minus fiber. Okay, on Wednesday, we add in the strength training. So we would like you to do Monday and Tuesday's workout in a fasted state. You do not have to, but it's recommended, but you do not have to. On Wednesday, we add in the strength training. Now, for those of you who are who have already gone through menopause, or you're perimenopause, or you have a hormone imbalance, I know, Lillian, we've talked about this. I would like you to have something small before your workout on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This will give you energy and be able to lift heavier and work harder. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing your strength training in a fasted state, to be honest, if you do not have any hormonal imbalances. I am literally talking to my clients, so, okay. I often will do my strength workouts in a fasted state. There is nothing wrong with them. Thank you. So if you have hormonal imbalances, if you have already gone through menopause, if you are experiencing menopause symptoms, then feel free to eat something small beforehand. I prefer it to be a combination of carbs, like a banana, a little bit of fat and protein, so that your metabolism does not spike up and then you crash. So we're not having a goo energy. I would prefer something with some fiber, like a banana. As I said, a little bit of protein, fat, fiber, carbs. Okay, those combinations. I know we're gluten-free, but I will sometimes have half a slice of sourdough bread with some peanut butter, teeny bit of jelly, maybe even, or jam, I should say, just as a little bit of like an energy kick. Scraps from the kids' breakfast. Sometimes that's what I have for pre-workout. I often will do the faster way BCAAs. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if they do anything, but they taste delicious and I enjoy them. But in regards to do you need them, I do not think you do. So we add in the strength on Wednesday to build that lean muscle that I was talking about. By adding in the carbs, you're going to be able to push harder in these workouts than if you were still in a carb cycling state. So be sure to have a little bit of something before these strength training workouts so that you can push harder. If you are a 5 a.m. workout person, if you're a 6 a.m. workout person, again, as I said, there's nothing wrong with doing these workouts in a fasted state. But if you notice that you don't feel awesome, you don't have any energy, add in that small snack. That may mean shortening your intermittent fasting window, making it more like 12 hours than a 14 or 15 hour, depending on what you're doing. Does anybody have any questions about that? Someone may be typing, but I don't know, but I'm going to keep going. So if you do have a question, feel free to type it in. I will answer that. So on Wednesday, we do full body. Thursday, we do upper body. Saturday, we do leg day. Friday and Saturday are our rest days. These are important. These are critical. These are crucial. I actually don't do the Faster Way Friday or Sunday workouts. Dancing is not for me. It's never been for me. I have clients that enjoy them, but for me, they are not for me. Lillian shared she feels better working out after a snack first. And yes, that makes total sense. So, not to air out what we've talked about, but Lillian does have hormonal imbalances. So, working out is definitely something that I would recommend for anyone that is experiencing any type of hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, um, any hormone stressors, any autoimmune issues. So let's quickly talk about these stressors though. So it's just as important to have these rest days as it is to get in your strength. I do not want you sacrificing sleep for these workouts. You should be placing a priority on getting at least 7 hours. I often will have clients who their sleep is disrupted, it totally goes down. Think about postpartum. If you ever tried to lose weight after you had a baby, you weren't sleeping, your body was producing milk, your hormones were all out of whack. And for many of us, losing weight just didn't come easy. And it's because of all the hormonal changes that we're going through. There's all these, triggers that are causing this imbalance, and our body is just holding on to the fat. It's producing so much cortisol that it's just holding on to this fat. So we want to reduce these events that could potentially cause our bodies to hold on to stored body fat. Okay. We want to get to optimal health so that our body can just function as it should. We have energy. We feel good. We're using our stored fat. I do get clients who are like, I have 20 pounds to lose. I'm eating less. I'm exercising more. Why am I not losing weight? I'm doing everything that you said. And I'm eating less and exercising more. So here are the key things to reduce these stressors. Number one, eat enough. Nobody should be below 1,200 calories. Most of you are probably between 14 and 1,800 calories. Okay. Number two, make sure that you are getting in these rest days. These 2 rest days are super important. Make sure that you're getting at least 7 hours of sleep a night. If you are someone that is still doing outside workouts, keep your HIIT exercise to 60 minutes or less a week. So in the Faster Way, we do 2 30-minute HIITs. If you're out there doing Barry's Boot Camp 3 days a week, for many of you, this is going to hamper your progress in strength. Not for all of you, because obviously there's not one body that's the same. We're all different. We're going to respond different to exercise. But in the Faster Way, we're trying to heal our bodies. Okay. So for many of my clients, that means keeping our HIIT workouts to a maximum of 60 minutes a week. If you love cardio and you're like, I need to do with cardio, at the end of our strength workouts, you'll see that optional 20-minute cardio if that's something that you have time to do and you want to do. I simply don't have the time to do that, so I often do not do it. I think it's at the end of the Monday workout, Wednesday, and maybe Thursday. I think Saturday might only be 10 minutes. Those are optional. You can do them, but you don't have to. The other stressors, focus on your net carbs. Some of you may have 75, some of you have 100. Focus on that. Intermittent fasting window. Doing a prolonged intermittent fasting window is going to not be beneficial to a certain point. 16 is the max that we recommend. Most of my clients, I recommend 12 to 14. And lastly, a lot of processed garbagey foods. Okay. So I hate artificial sweeteners like sucralose. I think that these are hormone disruptors. My sister actually was getting super horrible migraines from Splenda way back when I was like 23 years old. And so I luckily discovered that Splenda was not great before most people did. I hate Splenda. I hate aspartame. I think that all these fake artificial sugars mess with your body's natural responses to tell you when you're hungry and you're full. Stevia, people think is okay. I personally found that stevia was almost like a gateway to binging for me when I was younger, because it had this 0 calorie. It was super sweet and it just made me crave more sugar. And then I felt horrible if I ate too much. So like, I'm not into stevia as like a sweetener added to like baked goods and stuff like that. If there's a little bit of stevia in your protein powder, I'm okay with that. If there's a little bit of stevia in your coffee and you don't notice that it causes you to have sugar cravings later in the day, I'm okay with that as well. I personally prefer good old-fashioned sugar. Other just like processed chemicals, like avoid them. They're not doing anything, so try to eat things as unprocessed as possible. What else this week? Any other questions? Lillian said, yes, this is exactly why I joined this group. I love it. Anybody else have any other questions as I look at my app to make sure that I'm not missing anything that I wanted to talk to you guys about? I've been coaching this for like 3 years, and I'm like, what else do we talk about this week? Nobody else is sharing any other questions. But yeah, we're just talking about carb cycling and food cycle. Yep. Okay. I hit everything. Sometimes there's like a random, oh, the benefits of strength training. Y'all know this though. And you guys already saw it. Benefits of strength training: increases your muscle mass, decreases body fat, increases bone density, which is so important when we get older, injury prevention, increases mobility, improvement in hormone balance, estrogen, progesterone for women, growth hormone, testosterone for men, stress management, that's huge. Increased immunity, that is one that people don't know. Increased immunity is obviously your body's ability to fight off diseases and illnesses, and regular exercise really does help with that, with your gut health. The importance of muscle, the importance of rest. We talked about that. Muscle repair, better, more quality sleep, improved immune function. We just said that. Improved hormone function, injury prevention. So I went over everything except for the exact benefits, but you guys all read that before I did, and most of you probably already knew them. So if you guys do have any questions, this is a shorter training. Luckily, thank good. Oh, Nicole has a question. Do you do anything differently, like when you're on your period or PMSing, since we're talking about hormones? Awesome question, Nicole. So I did a blog post on cycle syncing and the faster way about a few weeks ago, where I have my modifications. So for me personally, I do not go out of my way. If anybody's curious about what cycle syncing is, it's basically tailoring your workouts to where you are in your monthly cycle. So first few days, PMSing, low energy. So cycle syncing would be like, do yoga, do stretching. For me, I'm just not wired that way. So what I do is I listen to my body. I tap into how I'm feeling. I'm very much be in tune with your body, listen to what your body says. If I'm not feeling like a PR day, I embrace it. So an example, if it's like, the day before my period or the first day, you're maybe a little crampy, you're not feeling awesome, it's a hit day. What I would do is I'm obviously not home. I would go for a walk and I would do a run walk. Or if I was at home in Weston, I would get on my Peloton and I would put on a playlist that I thought was killer, that could motivate me. And I wouldn't be going for a PR. I would just move my body to feel good, because when I'm in those first few days, especially before, I am crazy, like the world is ending. And so I need that mental health benefit. A week after you get your period, often that's like an energy boost. So last Tuesday, or a couple Tuesdays ago, I had like this unbelievable, or no, it was a Friday. Anyway, I had an unbelievable run. And so for me, I'm like, I look and I'm like, where am I in my cycle? I'm like, oh, this makes sense. This corresponds. So basically, I do not specifically tailor what I'm doing. I practice more self grace with how I feel. And I don't beat myself up if I had a bad workout. It's more of like, why did this workout feel harder than it did last week? And I pay attention to my body that way. But Nicole, if you are interested, go to sarahfit.com, and it's like the third blog post that I've written over the past month. But at the bottom, if you read the whole thing on cycle syncing, if you scroll to the bottom, you will see like what this means for my faster way clients. But I love this question. I want to look more into it. There are people that discredit it And for me, I'm all about intuition and being intuitive and doing what works for you and what feels good. So if you are like in that PMS, like I would make sure that, on a rest day, take that rest day and maybe do yoga. Like mentally, that might be really beneficial for you. I personally am not the type of person on a hit day that's going to be like, I'm going to do yoga. That's just not my personality. But if you are someone that's not hardcore like me, sure, try a power yoga. Like, make it work for you. I hope that answered. One other question that I wanted to mention, that if you are training for a race, we do have a modified schedule. So let me know if that's you. A lot of my VIPs will message me and say, hey, Sarah, training for a half marathon this season. What should my split be? I'll send that to you. If you love Peloton like me, I always do Peloton on Tuesdays. If I'm at home, I'll do my bike. If I am not at home, like today, I will do a run. Love the Olivia Miley Cyrus run. It is a great interval 30-minute run. Mondays, I will, if I'm at home, I'll sometimes do my Peloton. Yesterday, I did Amanda's Tabata. If it is like the middle of winter and your steps are like averaging 2,000, you could always do a fun, easy, low impact Peloton on a Friday rest day. We're not going for PRs. That's more of just move your body, feel good. I'm trying to think of anything else. On rest days, I basically just rest. Sometimes I'll do yoga if I need a little bit more anxiety reduction. And yeah, any other questions? You can always unmute yourself too. No? All right. Nick is 40 today. So we are going to go enjoy the day as a family. Not sure what we're going to do. The sun is out here in Nantucket, and I will look forward to seeing you guys next week. And thanks, Eileen. And I will let you guys know what time, likely noon on Monday. That's likely the timing for next week's meeting. Thanks, Lillian. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining live. Bye.